kindergartners, it's Mrs. B. I'm here with a fun art project for you today that uses something I hope you have at home or that you could make with your family. I know a lot of you have already made some Play-Doh during your time at home. When we were at school, we did a week of clay exploration where I brought out some clay and we made pinch pots and we made lots of other different shapes with our clay. So we're going to practice some clay shapes today. So your first step is to take out your Play-Doh. Now, you guys know there's two ways we can start our clay shape. One is to make a ball, and one is to start with a snake. So our first Play-Doh challenges for today are to start with a ball. So you're going to start by making your Play-Doh into a ball. Now remember, it doesn't need to touch the table to do this. You should be using the inside part of your hand. This is the palm of your hand. And you should be using that to make the ball. So, once I have made my ball, I am going to make a pancake out of it. Now, I'm not smushing it on the table. I'm going to make a pancake using my hands. I'm taking the palms and I'm squishing it hard to flatten it. Now it looks kind of like a hamburger, like a bright neon orange hamburger. I'm going to use my pinchers to pinch and turn to make my pancake. And I want to see how big you can get your pancake to be. Let's see how big Mrs. B can get this one. Oh, it's going pretty well. If you turn while you're pinching, it will stay a circle. A flat circle like this is called a disc. So you're making a disc shape. Did you get your pancake? Good job. Now you can make it a taco. You could try to make it into an ice cream cone. You could try to make it into an umbrella. You can make it into something if you want, or you can go on to the next step, which is to make a ball again. I'm wondering what color Play-Doh you guys have at home. I think maybe I'll make some Play-Doh later. I have my Play-Doh recipe that I'm going to share too for anybody who doesn't have it. It's an easy way to make Play-Doh at home if you don't have any. All right, I made another ball. Now when we make a pinch pot, we start with a ball. We give it a thumbs up. Do you remember this from when we were at Goodwin? You take your thumb and you push it in, but not the whole way. Remember we talked about how if we pushed it all the way through, when we made our pinch pot, there would be a hole in the bottom and our M&Ms would fall right out of our pinch pot. So you make a ball, you push your thumb in, and then you're going to show me your pincher. And you're going to put your thumb in, your fingers out. This hand holds, and you pinch while you're turning it. Pinch and turn. See how big you can get your Play-Doh pinch pot to be. Oh, this is working out pretty well. If I had some M&Ms, they would be happy in this pinch pot because it's getting nice and big. I'm pinching and turning. So when you feel like your pinch pot's done, the last step is to gently push it on the table so it has a flat bottom. And there you go. You guys made beautiful pinch pots at school, and once we're able to go back to Goodwin, we will get to paint those and you'll get to take them home. But for now, we'll make one out of Play-Doh. Our last clay challenges use a snake. To make a snake, you take the flat parts, the palms, and you roll it till it's about the size of your hands. Now if I kept rolling it, it would flop and it'd probably break. So after I get it to the size of my hands, I put it on my table and I roll it on my table with the flat parts of my hands. You're going to see how big you can make your Play-Doh snake. Let's see. Now, once I have my Play-Doh snake, there's a few things I could do with it. I can swirl it to make the snail. You might remember making this when you were in kindergarten a few weeks ago when we did our clay exploration. So you swirl it, and then you give him a little head. You squish him so he can stand up, and then mine's going to have little antennas on top. And there's your little clay snail. I'm going to make another snake, and I'm going to try to make the first letter of my name. So I'm gonna make, whoa, oh boy, maybe we should all roll our sleeves up, right? Maybe I'll make a B for Mrs. B. So I'm making my snake and I'm trying to roll it evenly. So if I notice this part is a little bigger than this part, I'm gonna put my hands on top of the part that's a little bigger and try to roll it evenly. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make my letter B for Mrs. B. Oh boy, not quite there. Here we go. Here's my letter B for Mrs. B. Can you make the first letter of your name? If you're really good at Play-Doh, maybe you could spell your whole name with Play-Doh. Your last Play-Doh project for today is to make anything you're interested in making out of Play-Doh. And you know what? I'm gonna make, you know what my favorite animal is, kitty cats. I'm gonna make a little clay picture of my cat. Maybe later she'll sit for me so I could do a clay portrait. So there are her pointy ears. Let's see, I think I'll use a crayon and I'm gonna poke to make eyes. Poke, poke, and there's her nose and her mouth. And that's my clay kitty. See what you can make out of your Play-Doh. Your last project for this week, and this is something you can do if you don't have Play-Doh at home and you still want to do an art project with Mrs. B, your last project is to show me your favorite art materials to use at your house. So, my favorite art materials to use at home are paints and crayons. And I like watercolor paints and crayons because you can combine them and they don't mix. So I made some Easter eggs because my family celebrates Easter. And I used crayon and I'm gonna add some paint to them. So let's see, I'll paint a little yellow on this one. And I'm gonna paint some green on top of it. When we use watercolors, remember we swirl our wet paintbrush to wake up that paint. So your project, if you don't have Play-Doh, or if you want something extra to do, is to show me your favorite art materials to use at home and make a project of your choice with your favorite art materials. So first is Play-Doh, second is free choice if you have time or if you want to. That's all I have for this week. I miss you guys very much. I hope you're having fun even though it's very rainy at my house right now. And I'll see you next week. Bye.